You know exactly what I'm talking about, guys, because those photos of the body of Hank in the possession of Laura are essentially a ticking time bomb waiting to shatter the lives of everyone involved. It feels like the walls are closing in, and I have been watching the clock, wondering if there is any path forward that does not end in complete disaster for the people we care about the most. We all know that Sonny is not the type of man to sit around while a lowlife like Sidwell holds a gun to his head, and honestly, the fact that he and Laura formed a secret alliance feels like the only logical move in a world gone mad. If you ask me, the tension between these two has always been a fascinating dance of survival, but watching them unite against a common enemy makes my heart race. They are reaching out to the shadows, digging into the past, and realizing that Pascal was the one pulling the strings behind the scenes to clean up the mess that night. It is chilling to think about the level of manipulation that has been going on, and I cannot help but wonder if our heroes are playing a game they are already destined to lose, despite their best efforts to outsmart the darkness. Guys, I have to mention the role of Lucas in all of this because my heart truly breaks for him. He is a man caught between the light and the dark, standing in the middle of a war he never asked to be a part of. He knows that getting through to Pascal is the only way to save the reputations of both Sonny and Laura, but he is dealing with a man who would rather burn the world down than look him in the eye. You can see the desperation in his expression when he tries to navigate these treacherous waters, and it makes me think that we are witnessing the unraveling of a man who just wants to do the right thing in a place where doing the right thing usually gets you killed. It is a high stakes gamble, and if you ask me, the odds are not exactly in his favor given how vicious the opposition has become. I really want to talk about that failed hit because when I saw the news that the attempt to take out Sidwell had gone south, I felt the air leave the room. It was supposed to be the final move, the checkmate that would secure their freedom, but instead it just poured gasoline on a fire that was already out of control. Sidwell is a dangerous predator, and now that he knows his life was on the line, the masks have completely slipped. He is not going to hide in the shadows anymore. He is going to make sure that the whole world sees exactly who he is, and more importantly, he is going to make sure that the names of his enemies are dragged through the mud until nothing is left. It is absolutely terrifying to think that he is now acting out of pure, unadulterated rage, and I think he is going to be far more unpredictable than ever before. When we look at the psychological toll this is taking on everyone, it is clear that we are dealing with pure nightmare fuel. Sidwell has decided that prison is not enough for Sonny and Laura. He wants to destroy their entire legacy, their influence, and their very existence in this town. He is curating a narrative piece by piece that will turn the public against them and leave them with nowhere to turn. You have to wonder how long the facade can hold before everything collapses. I am honestly worried for them because Sidwell seems to be enjoying every single second of this twisted game. He is sitting back with those photos ready to trigger a scandal that could topple the political stability of the town. And I just don't know how they are going to stop him once he starts leaking that information to the press. It is a terrifying prospect, guys, and it feels like we are watching a slow motion car crash. If you ask me, the key to all of this lies with the witnesses who are currently being hunted down like animals. Pascal knows too much about the aftermath of the event involving Hank, and Britt is the one who provided the initial trail that led Sonny and Laura to the truth in the first place. These two are basically walking targets now. It is infuriating, isn't it? Sidwell is playing by his own set of rules, and he is willing to silence anyone who stands in his way. I think that if these two disappear, the truth about what really happened will be buried forever, and our favorites will be stuck in a cage that they can never break out of. We are watching a high stakes game of cat and mouse where the life of every single witness is literally worth more than gold, and I hope someone is watching their backs because the clock is ticking down fast. I personally think that the way Lucas is handling this is a masterclass in suppressed trauma. He has to balance his professional integrity as a doctor with the brutal reality of the mob world he was born into. It is a constant, exhausting tug of war. Every time he looks at Pascal, he is not just looking at a witness, he is looking at the only person who can stop his family from being destroyed, and yet the hostility is palpable. You can see it in the way they lock eyes, that deep seated resentment that makes every conversation a battle of wills. If you ask me, Lucas is going to have to reach deep down and find a way to manipulate the situation better than Sidwell ever could, because if he fails, the consequences will ripple through Port Charles for generations to come. It is just heart wrenching to watch him struggle. And let us not forget the role that our memories of the past play in all of this. We remember how Sonny has handled threats in the past, but this feels different. The stakes are personal, the enemy is cold blooded, and the margin for error is non existent. We have seen him lose his temper, we have seen him make mistakes, but this feels like he is fighting for his soul. When you think about the history of the Corinthos family, you realize that this is just another chapter in a long, blood-soaked book. But I feel like this time the ink is starting to fade. If they go down, the power vacuum will be immense, and I have no idea who would be left to pick up the pieces. We are witnessing the potential end of an era, and it is honestly soul-crushing to think about the silence that would follow if the empire truly fell. I am constantly asking myself if there is any way for them to turn the tide. If they cannot get the witness protection secured, they are dead in the water. I think that the alliance between Sonny and Laura is their only real shot, but even that is shaky at best given the history of their political and personal conflicts. It is like they are two strangers forced to share a raft in the middle of the ocean while a shark circles them. Every decision they make is scrutinized, and every move they make is anticipated by Sidwell. The brilliance of his strategy is that he is making them fight a war on two fronts, one against the law and the other against a monster who has nothing left to lose. I am literally on the edge of my seat every single day waiting to see if they can survive the night. What truly bothers me, guys, is the sheer arrogance of Sidwell. He truly believes he is untouchable. He has this smug confidence that makes my skin crawl, and if you ask me, that is going to be his downfall. He is getting so caught up in the thrill of the hunt that he might be missing the things that are happening right under his nose. He is focused so much on the end game that he might be overlooking the fact that even a cornered animal can be the most dangerous thing in the world. I am hoping that Sonny and Laura can use his ego against him because it is the only leverage they have left. They have to be smarter, faster, and more ruthless than they have ever been, and I believe they have the grit to do it if they can just keep their heads above water. If you ask me, we are heading toward a massive collision. The way the pieces are being moved on this chessboard, it is only a matter of time before a major explosion occurs. We have the witnesses in hiding, we have the police circling the drain, and we have a villain who is actively trying to rewrite reality. It feels like the entire town is holding its breath. Every time I turn on the television, I am bracing myself for the moment when everything finally snaps. I just hope that when it happens, our favorites are on the right side of the divide. The emotional weight of this storyline is honestly top tier, and I think it is going to be one of those arcs that we talk about for years as the moment everything changed for everyone in Port Charles. I really wonder about the mental state of everyone involved. Sonny has been through so much with his health, and we have seen him struggle to keep his composure, but this is a test of his absolute resolve. Can he hold it together? Can he protect Christina and the rest of his family while also fighting a war in the shadows? It is a lot to ask of one man, and I think that is why the dynamic with Laura is so important. They are the twin pillars of this city, and if they crack, the whole foundation of our favorite world starts to crumble. It is not just about the mob anymore. It is about the very heart of the community that we have been watching for decades. It is terrifyingly beautiful to see them try to save it all, even when they know the odds are stacked against them. Let us talk about the intensity of the scenes we are seeing. The way the camera lingers on the expressions of the characters, the subtle shifts in their tone when they discuss the threats, it is all so expertly crafted to make us feel the pressure. You can see the fear behind the eyes of everyone, even the ones who are supposed to be the toughest. When they speak about the photos, you can hear the tremor in their voices. It is not just a soap opera plot to me, it feels like real life because of the way the actors are pouring seals into these moments. We are invested because we see the humanity in them, the flaws that make them real, and that is why it hurts so much to see them in this much pain. I am genuinely concerned about what happens if the truth comes out. If the scandal breaks, it will not just be about the legal trouble, it will be about the betrayal of trust. The people of this town have always looked up to these figures, and if they are exposed for what they have done to cover up the past, the fallout will be permanent. It is a social, political, and personal catastrophe in the making. I think that we are going to see a side of the town that we have never seen before, one where the light fades and the consequences start to mount up. It is not just a game of chess, it is a battle for the legacy of an entire generation, and the stakes could not be any higher than they are right now. Finally, we have to address the cliffhanger. Everything is hanging by a thread, guys. The witnesses are being hunted, the evidence is about to be released, and our heroes are running out of time. If Sidwell pulls this off, he wins, and everything we love about this town goes down with them. But if they can find a way to silence him or expose his own crimes before he acts, they might survive. It is a race to the finish line, and honestly, I have no idea who is going to come out on top. The suspense is killing me, and I know I am not the only one. We are all just waiting for that final explosive moment that will send shockwaves through the community and change everything for the foreseeable future. I have been reading all the comments from fans lately, and I must say, the debate is absolutely ferocious. There are those of you who think that Sonny and Laura deserve everything they have coming to them for the choices they made in the past, while others are standing by them, believing that they are the only ones capable of holding back the real monsters of the world. It is the most divided I have seen our community in a very long time, and honestly, it is exactly the kind of passion that makes us love this show as much as we do. Some of you are convinced that a major character death is coming, while others are betting on a massive legal trial that will span for months. Regardless of where you stand, we can all agree on one thing. The current state of Port Charles is nothing short of a total, unhinged, and absolutely glorious mess that we cannot look away from.